Oh, what do you think about this Extinction Rebellion thing? And what do you think about the pushback?
The pushback is pathetic and ridiculous and obvious. It was the most amusing thing about it was that it almost coincided with the Brexit rebellion protests, which didn't happen. There was like 5 people around the back of a bus station or something. But I don't see what difference it's going to make. I don't believe that kind of thing makes any difference. It often, it can be used as a thing to push people in the direction. Look at all these ridiculous people causing trouble from their environmentalism. Therefore, environmentalism is wrong. Protect the government.
I think what it's done to me is it sort of highlighted the fact. I was quite pessimistic about it all, I thought sort of like people, the commentary and all that. Yeah, they paid lip service to environmental issues, but when push comes to shove, they're just not that into it. They'd rather talk about Brexit.
Yes.
But actually, it does show there is a lot of agreement out there that this is the biggest danger facing humanity and that we should do something about it. And it's shocking that we're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Which I think may be the precursor to something actually happening.
Too late. It's too late. Honestly, this should have happened 20 years ago. But politically, it wasn't. Wasn't the thing. That's it. Too late.
And we're going to die, Kev.
Yeah. But like everything else, it'll be spun a different way.
This is surviving.
Yeah. Well, you caused this by saying that this would happen. If only the environmentalists had been nicer.
There's occasionally I get sucked into Joe Rogan these days. I called him a tool on one of our videos and said, why do you call Joe Rogan a tool? He is a bit of a tool. But I like some of the conversations, they are quite...
I've watched a couple of things.
Yeah. There's a very sort of... that it doesn't feel that loaded, if you know what I mean. He doesn't feel like someone who's coming out with a perspective. And he had what's her name? Candace Owens on there. And she's like a right-wing... I would say journalist, but it's not really...
You're really struggling there.
Yeah.
Nicer words. Can be nice.
Yeah. She said she was part of the Democrats, and then she realised that it was all crap, and she's trying to organise what they call it, Blacksit or something like that, to get black people out of the Democrats and voting Republican sort of thing.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, and he had her on his show, and she just straight up said, "Oh yeah, climate change. I don't believe that." And he's like, "What? Whoa." And they had this it was about 20 minutes of him saying, "No, look, 90%," and she's trying to portray it as being reasonable. That not only does she not believe it, okay, she didn't believe it, but that she feels emboldened to say so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In spite of the fact that more than 90% of climate scientists agree that man is having an effect on the environment. Yeah. And to just come out with, well, I don't believe it. It's a little bit like, well,
that's fake news.
If you come out and say that, you can say it, but don't expect when there's a bit of pushback for you to back it up.
Oh, you've taken away my freedom of speech. That's what it's going to be. You disagree with me. That's taking away my freedom of speech. You shouldn't be allowed to speak.
Yeah. Oh look, this has come up on Twitter. CO2 emissions by country, powerful graphic. China's leapfrogged United States.
Germany before, was it?
Yeah. So we've slumped quite low, haven't we? Yeah, it's good.
But if China are doing so well, I'm not going to stop because they're worse than us now. So we don't have to do anything.
Yeah, well, I think China, it seems they have decided that they're going to sort it out. And because they have a relatively authoritarian sort of, they can just do it. They'll just do it. We'll knock down the coal stations and we'll build nuclear power stations and we'll invest in wind farms and stuff like that. Which is quite scary, really, because you think people will look at that and go, oh, yeah, if they can do it, why don't we do that?
Yes. Yeah.
There we go.
More authoritarianism is creeping in. And overwhelmingly, that's not going to be a good thing. That's one good thing, but overwhelmingly, it isn't.
Yeah,
Just to clarify.
Does that not government? What's the Hansard sort of tests public opinions and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And it's sort of more than 50% of people in this country think or look kindly upon a strong leader coming in,
Oh God,
sorting it all out.
Strong leader.
Yeah, weak minds need strong leaders. That's the way I look at that.
Oh God, the whole mentality of that is so obvious. it's so no, I don't
Well,
understand.
you can see it. I mean, it goes back to that China thing. China decide that they want to do something, they just do it, and they can do it very, very quickly. We've got to go through 15 years of. I mean, you look at you wouldn't in China, you wouldn't have the issue that we have with Heathrow when they've been talking for like 30, 40 years about where to build a new runway.
That's true.
Yeah, they just do it. They just say, oh, it's happening at Heathrow, this is where it's going to be, or Gatwick or whatever. We've got to go through years and years of consultation to make sure people are on board and all that kind of stuff. And people look at that and think, well, no wonder people think politicians are a bunch of idiots, can't get anything done.
Well, they don't have the strongman theory thing going on. I mean, there's a bit of that, but I think it's a projected image thing. They've got a group of bureaucrats making decisions. Really, it's not a Trump. It's not I know everything. I'm blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you can see why people would look at China and say we need a strongman to sort this out.
Probably, yeah.
Because we can't get anything done. I think there's a lot of sympathy. I mean, we talk about the commentariat and the environmental issues. There's a lot of sympathy in there, but I think in the general public there's a lot of sympathy. There's not many people who give you much pushback over saying, yeah, we've got to do something about this. And yet, nothing happens.
Yes.
The one thing that happens is, oh yeah, what we've got to do is start fracking.
Well, the logical things, the sort of provable, peer-reviewed things that are pretty conclusive, that's what the liberal elite is. That's the real liberal elite, where decisions have been made against public opinion. That's what's been done, but that's now been completely weakened by angry people. They're very angry.
And the internet is revolutionising the world.
We'll get there. We will get there. It is still a good thing.
Well, I think ultimately democracy is going to change. It's going to have to learn to adapt with it. Because, I mean, in this country we've had, if you think about sort of like up until relatively recently, parliamentarians were a different class of people. They were supposed to be the intelligentsia.
Yeah.
They were the ruling class sort of thing.
Increasingly obvious.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, and now, because of the internet.
We now know.
And because of,
all the things that have happened.
Yeah.
Thanks, Palm. Yes. Yeah, we will get there. We will get the bad stuff that happened because of the internet. That's reactionary. So it's a bump in the road. People will. These people who are believing things that aren't true. But it's what I believe. It's what you're saying. That will pass. People will. Well, if that's true, it's true. That people will accept the truth again. I don't think this is a permanent thing of relative truth. It's not like that from now everyone can just choose what they want to believe and that's it. Most of these people doing that know they're doing it. It's reactionary. They're angry people. They're angry at being wrong, and they're saying, "Well, I believe it anyway." But that won't last, and they'll die out as well.
Well, I don't know.
Years will make a big difference.
I mean, the only real climate change denier I speak to is younger than me.
It's only one though.
Well, it's the only one I actually speak to. 100%.
Okay, 100% sample. That's pretty good going. Anyway, that's because we don't talk to those people.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
And I guarantee
are they going to die out? I mean, I think what you were saying there is that it generally tends to be the older generation.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I assume that person's got that from watching crap on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
it's going to be, isn't it? Yeah.
But so, I mean, why is he going to start accepting the truth?
Well, he'll become more and more of a minority, won't he? I mean, you can't. it's that thing about belief, isn't it? Does he really believe it, or is he just an angry person reacting? Well, I don't want to hear this. I don't hear it. And that's what it's all about. And it's fun. You watch the YouTube thing.
No, I mean, but
I find my thing.
a lot of beliefs are based on that, aren't they? It's sort of like you hold a particular view, and you find things that confirm that view.
Yeah.
And that's where we find our beliefs, sort of thing. I don't think that's going anywhere. All that's happened is the internet has given us the capacity to find more confirmatory evidence to support our beliefs.
Yeah, well, yeah. I still think that is a temporary thing, and I think it's a bump in the road of enlightenment. The internet is a path to enlightenment. It is.
Well, yeah, we say that. I mean, after I watched that Joe Rogan thing, I was getting all sorts of cracks and crazy videos being suggested, automatically playing in my list. You know,
all these views they've got there.
It's all paths on YouTube lead to the alt-right. No matter what eventually you'll end up at Stephen Molyneux or whatever his name is.
Well,
Stefan.
That's deliberate. It's been set up that way. The people who've worked very hard to do that. You know, 4chan. That end of things, who are actually trolling. They don't believe the things they're pushing. They just think it's hilarious to put everything's this ridiculous. You know, so that they've put that structure in there. It's a deliberate push for, if they see that video and you know all that. You know, they've learned how to manipulate social media while nobody was watching. Basically, and that's what's happened. When everyone else was thinking this is freedom. We're free to watch all our videos and it's good. And put on your videos and what I'm saying, videos. It's not just videos, is it? But,
no. I mean, it is crazy. These people complain about being shut down and the mainstream media.
Oh, it's the MSN.
Lock them out and everything, and yet they are massively publicised by these platforms.
Yes. Well, some things have just been banned, haven't they? It is happening where they're banning things.
I think the issue is they're not. I personally don't think they are deliberately directing people to these videos / posts, whatever. I think what it is they're measuring engagement via minutes watched and stuff like that. So we know this when we go on our channel, we can see pretty much where people start to tune out, and it's normally about 12 seconds. And the further along you go, that you know, YouTube will make a determination. Oh, well, this is an engaging video, therefore we should drive people to this video because people will have a better experience of being on YouTube, and they're more likely to come back, sort of thing.
That's the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, so that's like a YouTube algorithm, and I'm sure, should imagine most platforms have got this kind of algorithm going on. They want to push content at people that they actually will engage with and read. So on some level, these videos are engaging.
Yeah.
Because people are sticking with them, and that's why they're being promoted.
Yeah, but that process has been manipulated by. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Well, it's not. If you watch that Flat Earther video on Netflix, it's not him. He couldn't do anything, obviously. But it's kids who are Mr. Robot types who just think it's hilarious to do it, basically, and that they are playing around with stuff. And we all know about the sort of corporate end of it on Facebook, don't we?
Yeah, so that's paid for. That's something else, isn't it? That's sort of like that's deliberate manipulation. Yeah, I don't see it as manipulation. I mean, making content that people engage with, that's not manipulation. That's creating good content, isn't it?
If you're tricking them into seeing it, then it is.
But the only way you can trick people into seeing it is by making it engaging. So getting people making content.
Try this IQ test. And then that links to something else, which links to something. That's how
Facebook.
Dominic Cummings. That's his name. Is that his name?
Who's that? I don't know this.
Didn't you see the Channel 4 thing?
No.
All right. Well, Dominic Cummings won Brexit, basically.
Oh,
He's
right,
yeah. Guy. Very clever guy. Who saw? I mean, it was as much as it's being socially aware of what was happening, really, and tapping into it. That's his argument. He didn't do it. He tapped into a thing and linked Brexit with what was happening and manipulated people. You know, I mean, you think all those people that voted for Brexit, so many people voted on both sides of the argument. You know, it wasn't about Brexit. Of course it wasn't. You know, it's such a boring thing. There's no way that was really what it was about. There's lots of reasons for voting on both sides, obviously. You need to see that there's a dramatisation. Channel 4.
Did it have cucumber patch in it?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I remember it coming out.
What's his name? Cabbage Patch. Eggs Benedict Cabbage Patch. Yeah. Dramatisation. I mean, to do a dramatisation of the Brexit vote so near to it is so politically charged. But I think they did a really good job of making it pretty as impartial as it possibly could be. And it was really good. It was really entertaining. It's the Brexit police. I've stopped talking about Brexit again. Stop talking about it. Just make it stop. Oh God, kill me now. That's what I like about this. The environment. What's it called? The environment release.
Oh, the protests.
What's it called?
Extinction Rebellion.
Extinction Rebellion. Because it's not Brexit, and it's actually like front page news. And there's people protesting who aren't trying to kill people. Great, not Brexit. Scroll down a bit. Oh, sorry, it's Brexit. But yeah, that's a good piece of drama. It is just a good piece of drama. You know, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. I really think it isn't. You know.
So Dominic Cummings, was it Dominic Cummings or was it Cambridge Analytica who created this IQ test which linked you off to other things?
That's in the drama that he got them in, and it was actually a secret. He got these hacker guys in, and all these in the I don't know whether they would need to physically be there, but in the drama anyway, they brought in all these computers with flights.
I mean, if you can, it goes back to, democracies need to evolve. If someone can get that kind of information to that kind of detail, to the point where, Facebook can control your attitudes on certain subjects.
Yes, and that's the thing that feels so, do we actually know that? But that seems to be what happened. To get that many people to vote, it's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't believe that many people really care about something like that,
It's really strange. Yeah.
But because everyone was plugged in, And you said that, that politicians aren't the smart ones. That's really dealt with in this drama. It's really funny. But Dominic Cummings comes across as this genius guy, He's the clever one. He knew what to do, how to manipulate. This is the thing we've got to win. How do we do it? Social media, let's do it.
Scary, isn't it? Maybe we should just ban all social media during elections.
Well, I mean, that's almost what they used to do, didn't they? In the TV channels weren't allowed.
Yeah, what do they call it?
The impartiality period of. But yeah, I mean, it's like when they did the election, and was it 2015? And there was the Channel 4 did Living with the UKIPs. I think there's that woman saying, "I'm not racist. I just don't like black people." And they did it just on the cusp, like the day before the. Didn't work, did it? Yeah, but I mean, years ago, they would never do anything like that. It would have been a blackout. They cancelled. That was the week that was. That famously did the reporting on the JFK killings and all that, and then the woman sung a song, and it was like cutting edge satire. And they cancelled the show, and it never came back because there was going to be an election, and the idea was people are going to make up their own minds, and anything that is broadcast to people's in their living room on a screen is massively manipulative. So either you go with it and you do a Dominic Cummings, and everybody does it. I mean, my dad was complaining about. You see these posts on social media, they're talking about liking Jeremy Corbyn, and they're not real people. They're computers doing it. So, whether the Labour Party are getting... That seems unbelievable, doesn't it, that the Labour Party are that organised to get actual bots going on. But I imagine they do. I'm sure all the major parties will be doing that. To that extent, we all know...
I think there'll be targeted advertisements on Facebook.
Yeah.
Whether there's bots saying... I don't know. What are the bots supposed to be doing?
Pushing public opinion, isn't it? It's pushing opinions, and I think a lot of the ridiculous people on YouTube comments.
This is
the most ridiculous of all, aren't they? And Twitter.
this is the way I understood the Facebook thing with Labour, yeah? So Labour had a sudden explosion in the activist base, and they started sharing videos and stuff like that for Labour, which obviously pushed it out to the wider population. The Conservatives haven't got that activist base. So they started talking to people like Cambridge Analytica to try and target adverts at people. So the idea, I don't think Labour are dealing with Cambridge Analytica, to engage in this stuff. I don't think they need to.
No, because they've got real members.
Yeah, 500,000 of them.
That's another thing. The whole Labour and the Tories thing was such an interesting thing. They're so different. That the Tories don't have rallies. They do it in private.
They get a factory, nice clean one, cram everyone into a corner so it looks really, really full.
Yeah, they do the publicity photos, but they don't really do the. But it's like the that dramatisation of the 2010 election. Did you see that one? I can't remember who was the famous actors doing it. I think they were all lookalikes, and it was quite funny because they really did look like them. But seeing them how they all went away after the election, and it was all messed up because Cameron hadn't got his majority that the media had told everyone to give them. 2010, yes, it's 2010, isn't it? Yeah. How Cameron went back to his people, and Clegg went back to his people, and Gordon Brown sat there not knowing what's going on in number 10. It's put across as a bit of an idiot, really, which maybe unfair, I don't know. But obviously, Nick Clegg went back to his house, and then they went and had a meeting in like a community thing. But David Cameron went to this weird Freemason building. They're sort of in like a staircase sort of area, and he's standing at the top, arguing, telling, "This is what we've got to do." And you can see how the Tories are the establishment.
Yeah.
Broadcasting on behalf of the Conservative Party.